Welcome back to the David Pakman Show.
Welcome to the bonus show. I need to talk about China. It's paramount that I discuss this China story with you, as it could affect everyone in the world, or not. China, or it might. China, I guess there's a trend in China where you hire strippers for your funeral, or I suppose family members hire strippers for their funeral, or perhaps if you're about to go, you can make these plans yourself. Now, why? If you had to guess, Dave, why would someone in China want strippers at their funeral?
I don't know, to take away from the grief. I really don't know.
Shockingly, it has nothing to do with that or with anything other than drawing more people to the funeral.
Huh.
That's all it is about. And they use the term mourners. But if you're going up just to watch a stripper, you're probably not mourning. But
I would assume not.
yeah. But anyway, that's what this is about. It's about getting more mourners to the funeral. And the reason for that is, I guess, in their culture, the bigger the crowd at the funeral, the better, the more good fortune you will have in the afterlife. That's the idea. So that is the point of this. But China is cracking down on this. The government plans to work closely with the police to eliminate these performances. And it's unfortunate that it's come to this. It's pretty ridiculous. Some of these strippers perform with snakes, and I guess that will bring in even more people. That sounds really interesting. CCTV found about a dozen funeral performance troupes offering such services in every village in the country, putting on as many as 20 shows a month at a rate of about $322 a pop. And this is just, I think it's sad. You know, do you really think that you are doing yourself a favor in the afterlife if you are hiring strippers at your funeral just to attract people to hover around?
Well, most people in China are not religious, so maybe it's not a factor.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's very strange. Very strange what's happening in China, as usual. There's my China rant for the day. Good news coming to us from Google. Google is launching its own mobile network specifically for owners of the Nexus 6, which is the Google phone. Now, you can't just go and sign up right now. What you have to do is sign up online. You don't really sign up. You enter your name, and they might select you randomly to participate in this experiment. Now, it's not using their own infrastructure. I think they will be using AT&T and Sprint to help them with this. But it is going to be a new kind of model for this type of service. So you get $20 a month, and for talk, text, Wi-Fi tethering, and international coverage in over 120 countries. That's it. And then there's a flat $10 a month per gigabyte of data. Now, someone like me, we're talking 30 to 40 a month, and that's pretty great. So, but they like carry over the data, and there's like prorated charges. So it's really, it doesn't seem like they're being greedy here at all if you read all the details. And I am big into this, David. If this becomes a thing, and anyone can sign up for it, when this phone is done, when I'm done with this thing, I am going to be done with AT&T, and I'm going to go straight to Google, despite all the information they're harvesting of mine.
I thought you had Sprint. When did you switch to AT&T?
I switched when, I think, when was it?
So you're still on Sprint is what you're saying?
No. I did switch. I think it was before I moved here.
Oh,
I think, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was right when I got this phone that I switched to AT&T. Because I remember I had my number ported over. So yes,
You'd think
I
this would put some downward pressure on pricing from some other carriers, hopefully.
yeah, I hope so. Carriers who are, it's funny how all of this stuff works. They are using the infrastructure set up by these other carriers who are they are competing with, but that's wireless, I guess. That's how it works. So I'm really interested in this. This is a great thing. If I were staying in Austin my whole life, I would definitely get Google Fiber because that is available here. It's like the $300 fee. It's like $300, and you pay one-time fee, and then you get like slow internet for life with that. It's still like $100 for the gigabit, but gigabit is still like better than anything. That's only available like downtown Austin right now. But Google doing big things. Facebook is also doing the what is it? The wireless drone thing.
Yeah, Facebook is involved in this like free internet project around the world where they're trying to position their own website. I don't know the details of it, but look up what is going on with Facebook and so-called free internet around the world. It's pretty interesting and somewhat disturbing as well.
Probably makes more sense to use satellites, but I'm no expert. They are using drones, or at least testing them. Okay, here's the big story today. We talked about a story very similar to this, that it was in San Francisco, where there were strange, basically, it was a freedom of speech issue about these advertisements on buses. And I believe they were anti-Muslim or anti-Jewish, whatever they were in San Francisco.
Right.
The same thing is now happening in New York City. So there is a group that has been labeled by the Southern Poverty Law Center to be an anti-Muslim hate group, the AFDI. What they are doing is they are creating these advertisements that show someone in Muslim garb. They look like a Muslim extremist, an ISIS fighter, what have you. And it says, killing Jews is worship that draws us close to Allah.
Yeah.
And that's in quotes. And underneath that, it says, that's his jihad. What's yours? With a question mark. So this was supposed to be essentially an anti-Muslim, I guess you could say, an anti-Muslim advertisement.
Right. These were not people advertising that killing Jews is worship. It was people advertising that there are Muslims who believe killing Jews is worship.
But a lot of the concern here is that this will actually cause violence against Jews.
Or Muslims.
Yes, but primarily against Jews, because it seems to be, depending on how you look at this sign, like you said, it could look like something that is promoting the killing of Jews.
Right.
And saying that brings you closer to God. Excuse me. So that's what's going on here. But a judge has ruled that this is, they are able to do this. This is free speech. And I guess the city, MTA, the bus company, subway system, they have, they are going to run these ads. And it's a whole big thing. Now, I guess, do we trust the Southern Poverty Law Center when they say this group is a anti-Muslim hate group?
Yeah, I do trust them.
All right. Well, then it's official. That's what's going on here. And have you seen any of these yet, or anything similar to this in New York?
No, I have not. I rarely ride the bus. I think since I've been here, the bus has been preferable to the subway maybe 10 times, and I ride the subway probably around 60 to 70 times per month, to give you a sense. So once every 2 months, I'll ride the bus, and I don't really notice. I try not to pay attention to the ads on the sides of the buses when outside. So I haven't noticed any weird or controversial ads on any of the buses.
Mm-hmm. Now, the MTA did not want to run them, but the AFDI sued them to run these ads. Pamela Geller tweeted, "This is a triumph for liberty and free speech."
Yeah, she's vile.
This is the president of the AFDI, which stands for American Freedom Defense Initiative. It's a strange name. And MTA, the judge here, I believe this was the judge, said that, who was it? Anyway, MTA officials, quote, underestimate the tolerant quality of New Yorkers and overestimate the potential impact of these fleeting advertisements. This was the judge. Moreover, there was no evidence that seeing one of these advertisements on the back of a bus would be sufficient to trigger a violent reaction. Therefore, these ads, offensive as they may be, are still entitled to First Amendment protection.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Now, the MTA could just take as a matter of policy a position that we don't do anything that deals with politics or religion, right? They could do that. That's not their policy. So then they can't be in the position of kind of picking and choosing individually, unless they could say we could just reject any ad. But the MTA is so huge that having a policy that's subjective would probably be a problem for them.
Yeah. So I would say that these messages are definitely in poor taste. There's probably I'm not sure what the goal of these messages is. I guess it's to raise awareness that there are people that want to kill Jews. I think we already knew that.
Most people are aware of that, yeah.
But it does seem to put all Muslims in the same category. So, pretty bad stuff. The AFDI was not really on my radar before reading this. But do they operate around the country?
I don't know. I know Pam Geller more than I know the AFDI, and I know that she's just a vile character, but I don't know that much about the organization. All
right. Well, David, did you want to give a little preview?
Well, people have been emailing in saying, can't you say something on the bonus show about the announcement? So I really don't want to say too much, but what I will say is this. The announcement is multifaceted. It's going to be outlining the future of the show. I consider it good news, all good news. And it relates not only to the structure of the show, but to the content and to the both to the structure and the content of the show, and I consider it good news. I don't know. I guess that's what I'm comfortable saying now.
Well, thank you for giving us absolutely no information on the big announcement. You have probably left people even more frustrated and curious, and you have done the bonus show a great disservice, David.
In time, all will be revealed. Everybody will have all of the information. I don't think anybody is going to be in any way harmed by not having all the details until next week.
Hold on. Are you going to make this announcement on Monday, or are you going to be a huge dick and wait till late in the week?
We haven't decided. You're asking me like it's just up to me. We haven't yet decided that.
Okay. I thought you had. I don't know. It seemed like he doesn't even know when he's going to make the announcement.
It depends on some factors external to me.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. We can say with certitude that sometime during next week's programming, the announcement will be made.
Barring, a car accident or just something horrible happening, next week we will make the announcement.
If David gets thrush, it might not happen. But hopefully that won't happen. See you all later.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.